Welcome. In this video, we will discuss the topic of cybersecurity and look at its relevancy in the digital ecosystem. Cybersecurity refers to the ability of systems and networks to protect themselves from various attacks that may occur online. This is a very prevalent threat in our modern world. Uh, the data that we store online is extremely valuable, valuable enough that the risks of accessing that data or trying to procure that data through illegal means is worth the risk for many attackers. In order to have a positive cybersecurity plan in place that can create resilience against various threats, it is important to involve a variety of stakeholders in a variety of aspects in that planning. And so it's important to consider first people who are going to be using systems, who are creating the systems, who are potentially attacking the systems. What are each of these groups' motivations? Why do they want to use the system? Why do they want the underlying data that the system stores? What is the value of the data to them? What is the value of the system to them? Who are they? What are their backgrounds? What are their interests? These are important considerations in understanding how people may use the system in order to identify threats to the system and vulnerabilities and identify the ways in which people may try to attack the systems as well. We must also consider the processes within our systems. So, what do our workflows look like? How do people interact with the system uh, by design? And what do we have in place as far as plans to ensure cyber resiliency? And then finally, of course, we need to consider the technology itself. What are the capabilities of the technology? What are the specific innate technological deficiencies that can lead to cyber threats being successful? There are many types of threats to security online. So here I'll just go over a few of those, but there are many others to research in further detail. One type that we see quite commonly is phishing, and phishing refers to the coercing of information from others. That may be by social engineering, so figuring out information about a user of a system and then using it to try to manipulate or trick them into divulging additional information that would allow an attacker to have access to the system. Malware, that is, as the name implies, malicious software. So there is damaging software online that may have a program that would attack your computer or attack the data in your computer and distribute it to a third party. And that is something that might be downloaded to your computer. So um, we often have different measures in place to alert us when we may be engaging in unsafe downloads online for that reason. Identity attacks. So this ties to some extent with phishing, which is the impersonation of users. So trying to fool others as to your identity, posing as potentially maybe a figure within the company in order to fool others into giving up information that they otherwise would not divulge to a stranger or another person within the organization. And finally, algorithmic attacks. So, using algorithms to break passcodes, to manipulate systems, hack and breach systems in order to get data. And this is a threat that may become particularly problematic in years to come if we see the growth of quantum computing, quantum technology that can speed up some of these algorithmic processes and provide access and break systems and codes much more quickly. This has been a brief introduction to security, but I hope you will have the time to review a few additional resources that may be of interest. One article I'll include is from Cisco, and that's talking about common types of cyber attacks, which would include the ones I briefly discussed in this video, as well as some additional ones. And then I am including a link to an article by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agencies, Keys to Staying Cyber Safe. So these are a bit less technical, a bit more like day in and day out standard practices that you can engage in to keep your own data and your own systems safe and secure. Both of these articles will be linked in the description for you to find. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next recording.